Hey everybody, Joy here. Joy on a terrific Tuesday. I think it's March 28, 2022 because yesterday was March 27 and Jerry had the MRI. And the MRI says he has a small tear somewhere. And so his doctor says he probably needs to see a bone person. So he has a bone person because of his knees, you know, back in the day. And so that's Oklahoma City. So we may be taking a trip up there. And I know my pants are falling down, but look there, I can get my whole two hands in there. I kept thinking, this diet is so dumb, I'm not losing any weight, I'm not losing any inches, this is just ridiculous. And my scale would not go under 150. I told Jerry, I said, there is something wrong with that scale. It doesn't have any fours in it. Something is wrong with it. So yesterday, we've been sleeping in the RV because the RV has a more comfortable bed. And yesterday, I did finally order a topper for my bed here. I have a single, he has a single. They're together. They're a king on the bottom, two singles because he sleeps flat and I sleep elevated. So he said he didn't want one because he thinks our bed's too soft and I think our bed's too hard. So I'm telling you, two different stories. So I did order it, ridiculously expensive, but a whole lot cheaper than a new mattress or a new bed. So I wanted to show you, pardon the red lipstick, I'm wearing a red top today. I just put this on to show you that I have rescued it. I put two little tucks in the bottom. I probably could put a couple more. But now it is an almost daisy. Remember the daisy was a Fit Nice design in one of her books and the lace was on in that triangle position hanging down. So that's, I didn't come up with it, I was copying it. And theirs of course is beautiful because they had very pretty lace and they had pink on pink and white on white. Makes a big difference. I think it was white on white, maybe blue on blue or something. But mine just was hideous, as everybody said, as nice as they could. How can I nicely say that looks absolutely horrible, John? So anyway, y'all are really good at saying things nice. And so I've got it done and I love it. I like it very much. Of course, it's ITY knit. And, all right, what's ITY knit? I think inner twist yarn, something like that. What's inner mean? What's the opposite of outer? I don't know. I know. FabricMartFabrics.com sells it. I love it. I have tons of it. And I have loved everything I have made out of it for the feel. And they say it doesn't pill. So I'm not so sure about that not pilling business. I've got a couple tops that are starting to look pretty rough. So this is it. So my triple D is now a double D plus half a D. So it's a dolman, it's a dondy, and it's a little bit of daisy. Today, Tuesday, Philly just called and said Roger has an appointment on Thursday, so we have to change our Zoom this week to Saturday. So between now and Saturday, I probably need to put some fabric away. Remember all that fabric I just showed you? Got to run downstairs, put it in the washer. What do I wash it on? I wash it on warm and warm. And I dry it on normal. Because whatever's going to happen to it, I want it to happen to it before I cut it out and make a top out of it. So this was washed on warm water, warm rinse, and normal cotton everyday dry. So you can see it looks just fine. Nothing happened to it other than what I tried to do, destroying it with steam machine. Look at me! I could just hide. I could just stand right here and the robbers couldn't find me. They'd look over here and think that I was just part of the quilt, like a butterfly, you know? I know. I am so much happier when I sleep in the coach, have you noticed that? It is so much more fun to sleep all night than it is to stay awake all night tossing and turning. So probably 7 to 10 days before I get that mattress cover, because I got it directly from Tempur-Pedic. It was $100 cheaper. Now you have to pay for freight to return it, but the freight's probably $25. It's a twin. And with Amazon being like $150 more, you can return it without paying for shipping. But hello, they've got $150 shipping added to the price. So check the prices, check the prices. I think I'm going to either take a couple tucks in the top of these jeans, or I'm going to go put a different pair on that didn't fit me before, and now they do. I've lost 6 pounds. How many pounds have you lost? 6. Started out at 155, 156. I've depended morning, afternoon. I might measure 154 in the morning, 156 in the afternoon. I always measure 156 at the doctor's office. I told them there's something wrong with their scales, but they don't buy it. I always take my shoes off, my hoodie off, put my purse down, and still they always get me at 156. So wait till I go back and they see that I've lost this weight. So I'm 149. Now my goal, now this is a goal. Maybe I'll reach it and maybe I won't. My clothes fit me just fine, as big as I am, bigger than I am, which is why they all look so baggy. But my goal is 145. So if I'm 149, that means I've got 4 more pounds to lose. So, and I've got a whole week and 1 day to do it. So, those of you who are doing it with me, hey, let's really stick with it this week and see who gets there the firstest. Loses another 4 pounds. Or who cares? Eat whatever you want to. I'll be back. Hey everybody, Joy here. It's Monday again, and so far I am having a mad Monday. Mad at me, mad at me. I did a big piece of stupid. I tried not to, and I thought I had covered all my bases, but I didn't. And so it appears I have a $250 single mattress topper from Tempur-Pedic that I used 1 1/2 night, covered by a mattress cover and covered by a fitted sheet. Then we rolled it all up, put it back in the box, and they say I can't return it. I read the return policy. It says mattresses can be returned, sleep on it for 90 days, see if you like it, blah, blah, blah. I didn't go any further than that. So evidently if you scroll way down the page, it says, the following items can't be returned because your skin might have touched them. Well, how the heck do you sleep on something for 90 days without your skin touching it? So, I said I want to talk to a supervisor. Well, evidently the supervisors have some kind of special compensation from the Pope and they don't have to come to work till 10 o'clock. So, it's just now a little after 10. I've got to call them back. And they'll probably still tell me I can't return it. So, of course, Jerry's having a fit. Why didn't you check? Why didn't you think? Whatever. Another mad at myself, sorta, not really, is I have always hated collars. I made this blouse for some reason, I don't know why. And I liked the blouse, but I never liked it on me. But for some reason, I thought, oh, I have all the clothes I really like to put in the coach. We're going to be there 3 days. I've got enough clothes for 6 months. I'm putting all those in the coach for our trip. So I'm to my clothes I don't wear very much. So I saw this today and I thought, well, maybe that will go with my new brown hair. I had to do it, y'all. I had the dye and the box was already open. And so what could I do? So I did that, put this blouse on, and suddenly went, oh, I like it now. I suddenly like it. I like the collar. Hello, don't ask me. Maybe when you're 73, you suddenly like collars. I don't know. But there's one bad thing, and what I was saying, mad, not really, is I wish I had saved the fabric. I went through all my fabrics, a couple times, and I gave a whole bunch of them to Goodwill, and I gave a whole bunch of them away to some other people. But if I had saved some of this, I would go get it out of my saved box, and I would make different sleeves, because I got the sleeves wrong. See? Number one, I don't like them this short anymore. Another 73 thing. I've always liked short sleeves. I would like them longer. I would like them fuller because they don't have enough ease in them. There's only like 1 inch ease and there should be 2. 1 inch in a knit, 2 in a woven. So I was kind of ticked about that. Jerry's gone on his way to Oklahoma City to see the bone doctor about he got the MRI back and he's got a tear in his muscle back here, a tear. Kind of like you cut a notch out of him. And it's been hurting him so much. So I'm anxious to see what that doctor wants to do and when he wants to do it. It'll have to be after our trip to Arkansas. Oh, I have to go. I have to go take the paddle out of the bread. I'll be back. So you remember I'm working on the block of the month from the A Season in Blue book with Edited Sitar. Supposed to be the first Wednesday of every month. She comes out with what you're supposed to do for that month, but she actually put April's up already. And I don't think this is Wednesday. So I've got my 2 houses. Here you can see my 2 houses. Well, yeah, this is the back of Jerry's kitty quilt here. I'm gonna get on. He needs to have a birthday or something so I can get inspired to get that done. So here was month 1, the 2 houses. Here was month 2. I don't remember what it's called. And here was month 3, the stars. And Threads Forever. Here was month 3, the 5 stars. And so now month 4 is this one. And I would think, well, how on earth are you going to do a block of that? But we are. It's not going to look like that because what it's going to be is it's going to be 5 or 7 or however long a row is of this right here. So we're not making the whole, we're just making 1 block. The second block is just a solid 10.5 inch square evidently. And we're just making this block. So I've got to start that. Oh my, her quilts are hard. Let me show you what I've been working on. Now this is a completely different quilt. I keep calling it the Blue Barn because it has a blue barn, but it's not the Blue Barn. It's called the Patchwork Barn. And it was a block of the month from the quilt show years ago, 2018. And I purchased it that way. Now you can buy the pattern. So this is how much I got done. I had to do this whole part right here 2 times. That part, maybe you can tell from the back, is triangles. And the triangles are templates. And I did not realize that this pattern had any templates at all in it. Because this is way like the 11th month that you started doing the barn, the big applique in the middle. And I didn't look at it. I just printed out every month. You know, and every month probably had 10, 12, 15 pages. And so I got to this month and started looking at it and realized it had 2 templates. Let me see if I can find them. Okay, I've sort of scribbled on this page now. And you can see I have the 2 templates that I ended up using the second time. I have them taped on top of the original page that had the templates. Okay? So I just used this original page. That's actually a copy of the original page, but I cut out the templates, used and put the whole thing together. Well, look at this. Look at how much different. I don't know if you can tell. No, wait, are those the good templates or the bad ones? Anyhow, it doesn't matter, who cares. Whatever page I started with, the point is the templates were not big enough. I printed all the pages. I didn't say do it 100%, do it 50%, I didn't say anything. I just said print all the pages. Well, evidently, the templates had come out a little too small. So, I had the little girl at Laundry Basket Quilts send me this block of the month part directions again and printed out the templates again, and sure enough they came out bigger than what I had to start with. So when you all, well, number one, it's nice if you know there's going to be templates. I didn't know. When you're printing out your templates, there's always this 1 or 2 inch square, and it will say, this is 1 inch or this is 2 inches, and you make a copy of that with that square on it, and you measure it, and if it doesn't measure, and my first one didn't. My first one measured like, God, an 1/8 inch. I mean, it's so little you could hardly see it. Just an 1/8 inch too small. Philly told me she always has to do her templates. She has to print them 102% to get that square to come out right. So I didn't have to do that. I just printed it, measured the 1 inch square. It measured perfect. I tore the whole top of the barn apart, threw it in the scrap bucket, and started over. So my second, I should have shown you the first one, because the first one, this roof was so little. I thought, well, I'll just take narrower seams. I had to take such a narrow seam that it didn't even catch the edge of this block up here. So this is it. Now this is just the roof of the barn. This is like the top of the barn where the hay is. The whole bottom of the barn I still have to do. That'll probably be my Thursday Zoom project with Philly, because she's still working on a quilt too. So, and this fabric right here isn't even Edita Sitar's fabric line. It was a different fabric line from Craftsy, and I thought it was so pretty I decided to use some of it in this quilt. So I'm liking that. Boy, I'm telling you, Edita's quilts, you better have quiet and be alone and have plenty of time and some chocolate and a cup of something. The stronger the better. So working on 2 quilts. This one's the block of the month sampler, and that one's the patchwork. I'll show you the whole patchwork barn. I probably showed you this in the last snippet, I don't know. But this is the whole patchwork barn. And I have all these blocks made. I made them in the RV when we were down there at Louisville at the repair place, all those hours. I sewed up when they didn't have to coach all day, usually on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I sewed up all those thousands of squares. And so now I'm doing the middle. And then there's applique. This whole border, you applique it before you put it on. This whole border, you applique it before you put it on. And the barn that I'm working on right now, you applique it before you attach it. So, I don't know, I may be 75 before I get this done. What a job, Bob. I wonder if I could go on Instagram or somewhere and look back to where Quilt Show was doing that block of the month, and maybe 100 people did it, and maybe 100 people finished it. And I can look and see what they did. You know, I went to Quilt Show and the whole thing shut down. You can't get any copies, you can't get anything on it. So I think if they're going to do something like that, they need to leave it active forever. You know, for people that take 5-10 years to complete a quilt like I do. But don't you love, Philly says, I just love her fabrics. I do too, obviously. So what am I doing today other than that? I am going to take a look, stick my head. I've got this great big plastic Sterilite container out there in the attic, and it's mostly knits. You know, I sew with ITY knits all the time. Mostly knits. I think I've taken all of the cottons out of it. But I'm going to look just to see if I have any more of this fabric, and I'll cut out 2 more sleeves, 2 different sleeves that have more room and are a little bit longer. Isn't it funny how you change what you think you look good in? Boy, it really is. I'll look at things that I did years ago and I'll think, I had something on Sunday. Oh, Sunday in Shine. And I was editing it and I thought, that used to be my very best color, that royal blue. And I thought, I don't even like the way I look in it in that video. Go figure. Well, for one thing, I had the wrong color lipstick on. I'm having lipstick issues. I've got lipstick. It's called Outlast by CoverGirl. Outlast. And the reason I like it is you put it on in the morning and it stays on for 24 hours. Certain things that you eat will cause a little bit of it to come off. I'll sit and peel it off sometimes. But I really like it because it stays on all the time. But again, some of the colors that I bought to go with some of the garments that I made they might look good with the garment, but they don't look good on me. So, you know, you have to take those things into consideration. Okay, this is kind of a goofy snippet, isn't it? I got my derby dress all done. Jerry helped me hem it. Boy, that was something. You know, he's got his sore shoulder, so he can't get down on the floor. And it's a long dress. It goes all the way to the bottom of my feet. And so I needed him at the bottom of the dress to help me pin up the hem. And my hems are difficult because I'm crooked. I have a low shoulder, I have a low hip, and so my hems, you can't just fold it up and hem it 2 inches all the way around. I should show you what I cut off. Here's a demonstration. Here's what I cut off. Now see how wide it is right here? And then, that would be my right side. Then we go over to my left side, and it's much smaller. And in the back, it needed to come up more than in the front. Let me see, I don't know how to line this up to show you the difference. It's kind of hard to see. I'm going to try to show you. This is why I have to have a man on the floor when I hem a long dress. See the difference? That's the difference from front to back. It looks like I'm fixing to lose my battery, y'all. Look at that difference right there. I suppose if I just pinned it up 2 inches and hemmed it 2 inches all the way around, nobody's ever going to know. But Jerry would. Jerry would notice. He would say, your dress is longer in the front than in the back. He would say it. He would notice it. And he's the one I dress for. So it's important to me. All right. I need to go get a cough drop. See? I'll be back. Okay. I just came back to finish my story. Jerry couldn't get down on the floor. So I had to put on this floor-length dress. It was longer than floor length when I put it on. And I had to get up on my desk out there. And so all these cabinets are right behind me. And I've got just enough room for my feet in front of it. And then he got on the chair and lowered the chair down, you know, my up-down power chairs. And so that's how he did the hem at the bottom of my dress. Oh my goodness, the things we have to do. But it's all done, ready to wear. I love it. And I, of course, will take pictures. I'm praying the weather is nice. I did a 20-day forecast, and supposedly it's supposed to be in the 70s and very slight chance of rain, but nobody knows what the weather's going to be, you know, that far ahead. We're leaving here on the 10th or the 11th. I'm not sure which. It's a Tuesday. And then we'll be there the whole rest of the week and leave there on a Sunday. So I will definitely take a picture with my hat. Thank goodness they put a headband in it, because with the headband it stays on my head. At least it did for a few minutes. With the clip, my hair is so thin and so fine, it just slowly just fell out and landed on the floor. So that's not good. Maybe some super glue, maybe some rubber bands, some bobby pins, I don't know. But we are looking forward to the trip. I feel really bad that Jerry's hurting so much. His shoulder's really hurting him. He did cut it. He fell on the ice, you know, and he did get a cut in it. It's, well, of course, looking at an x-ray, I don't know how the x-ray is size-wise, but he's at the doctor right now. His appointment was 5 minutes ago. So I'm excited to find out when they can fix it for him, and then he can be back to feeling good again. You know, we went through knee 1, then we went through knee 2. First we went through the 2 cancers, then knee 1, then knee 2, now shoulders. So, my goodness! Aging is wonderful in one way and not so wonderful in a lot of others. Isn't that the truth? So I'm going to let you go. This snippet's probably too long anyway. I'm sorry if I bored anybody. I'm hoping that people are still enjoying it. I don't really have how to show you to do anything because I'm not doing anything. My goal is to finish, you know, my list out there of all unfinished quilts. My goal is to finish at least one of those quilts a month. But from the one I'm working on right now and all the applique, I'm thinking maybe I'm going to have to finish a quilt every 6 months, maybe. The easy ones, the ones that just have quilting left to do, or they just have a border without applique, those I think I could finish in a couple days. But when you got something like this, there's no way. That's just tons and tons of work. All those little leaves, all those little flowers, all those little butterflies or whatever, I don't even know if it has butterflies, but they have to all be tacked down with a sewing machine before you can put it on the long arm to quilt it. I don't know if I remembered to show you my Don't Cut Your Fingers gloves. I ordered these size small. I think I showed them to you, but I don't remember. But I really, really like them because they have this little hanging thing on them, and I can just hang them up there on my little pegs on my threadboard, and I don't forget them. And so I only wear the left one. I don't see the reason for one on your right hand because it's the one rolling the blade. But I figure it could just be 2 left hands, one for now and one for later. But I highly recommend these. Of course, I haven't tried to cut myself to see if they work or not, but I figure that maybe just running into them and realizing that the blade's not moving right, or maybe the blade rolls over it. I don't know what the cure is with it, but my recommendation is wear them every time you pick up that rotary cutter. Oh my goodness, cutting yourself is not fun. My fingers are completely healed. Praise the Lord. Isn't God great the way He made our bodies to heal themselves? Oh, just amazing. That's it for today, and maybe for this week. I don't know. I never know when I'm going to put the camera up and what I'm going to be in the mood for and not in the mood for. When we're getting ready to take a trip and I'm not just here day after day after day, you know. So, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Do you have these gloves? Actually, I think they're supposed to be used for working in the kitchen too. I don't know if they're this exact same kind. I don't know why not. I think that it actually was for working in the kitchen with knives. So, and I have cut myself with knives before too. I cut myself when I was young. It was one of those real long, skinny blades with the handle. And my dad used to cut the watermelon with it because, you know, it was great big and long, would go through the watermelon. And so when they weren't home, I loved watermelon. I would take that knife and I would like bend it, you could bend it, and I would like scoop out some watermelon from inside the rind. I would try to cut the rind, that would be obvious. Or maybe I did try to cut the rind that day. I don't know what I did, but somehow I pulled that blade clear across my hand and it got my knuckle. And my knuckle, my white knuckle, was sticking out. Oh, I tell you, I don't know what I was more scared of. If I was more scared of my knuckle and my blood, or what my father was going to do to me when he found out what I had done. I think it's this knuckle. It seems to have a little scar on it. Who cares? Anyway, if you don't have some of these, Amazon, I don't know if they're in my store or not, they might be, but you don't, you know, just get them however you can. And if I think about it, I'll put them in my store. But I'm not on the internet right now, and I've got to go downstairs and get a fresh baked loaf of bread out of the bread machine. And I am still on a diet, and I haven't been eating carbs, but Jerry loves that flaxseed bread. And we've been out of it for about a week now. So since he had to go to the doctor today to see about his shoulder, you know, I thought I would surprise him with a fresh loaf of flaxseed bread when he gets home tonight. So, all right, gonna let you go for now. Y'all have a wonderful week.